Welcome back, surf fans, to the 2015 Vans Triple Crown of Surfing. This is stop number 2, the Vans World Cup Heat 6. Here in round 1, Goni Zubizarreta, Mason Ho, Kieran Jabor, and Miles Padaka hit the water. Chris Cote here with Ross Williams, looking at a real Beauty and the Beast day. Sunset Beach, the sun's come out. You look to the lineup, it's looking beastly. There's your first opening wave here from Kieran Jabor. And it looked like he a bit of a gem on the outside, but unfortunately goes down through that inside section, but could be a great start for Kieran Jabor.
This is a fun heat. We got Miles Padaka, who I think is the veteran in the Triple Crown. He's actually won this event, as you know, Chris, and the Triple Crown, and this is during the break. Mason Ho, classic little airbrush right there, kind of mimicking deck pads on his boards. He doesn't actually have, he's just like his pops, he doesn't like to have deck pads on his board, which is pretty unique. Mason staying busy. Look at that. Finding the link. Look at that kick out. That was amazing.
Nobody pulls out like Mason.
Just as much fun to watch as the maneuver. Stylish kick out for Mace. So good start for him. A couple of snaps on a decent wave, and then Kieran Jabor. Nice clean little grab rail cutback. But there's the tricky part about Sunset Beach. Just all the backwash, all the chops everywhere. It throws you off your game when you're not looking.
Well, these 25-minute heats have been just blasting by us. With so much water and wind moving, time can have its way with you. Here goes Miles Padaka. This guy knows the Sunset Beach lineup as good, if not better, than anyone in the entire field. He is a big, strong, silent warrior. And I tell you what, if you're looking for QS points and you see Miles Padaka's name in the heat draw, you're hoping and praying that you don't come up against him. Goni Zubizarreta, he is on the flip side, looking for those elusive WQS points. He's got a nice kind of opening couple of turns. Nothing crazy, but well surfed. And this wave to me has a way of kind of making you tone down your act. You've got to kind of be careful through your turns, because if you try to push too hard, one of these chops will get up under you and make your life real tough on the open face of these waves.
Well, that's the probably my favorite thing about Sunset Beach and what it produces. It forces you to use your rail. You know, so many events all year long, we watch guys disengage with their fins. It's all about releasing a tail and sliding around. It's not the case. You cannot do that here at Sunset Beach. You need to keep that rail knifing through the water. And that was a good example right there. Goni Zubizarreta.
Right there in the conversation and to be in the top 100 on the QS. Mason Ho, I mean, he is a household name at this point. Such an incredible surfer in waves of between 20 feet. He'll surf over rocks. He'll do airs, kick flips, whatever you want. Mason's got it. And, you know, definitely I'd say the most entertaining surfer on the planet.
Yeah, it's definitely you know, a strong argument for that. He is so many people's favorite surfer, and he puts out a lot of classic kind of web clips on the internet of just him, like you said, doing crazy stuff. Not only for performance, but amazing tube rider, well-rounded surfer.
And Miles Padaka, he is a consummate competitor here on the North Shore of Oahu. You won't find this guy doing 360 airs in Brazil, but you will definitely find him doing big, powerful, arcing carves whenever the waves come through of consequence. You know, you'd have to, you'd fill up 3 pages talking about his results in Triple Crowns and QS events here on the North Shore. I mean, this guy is pretty much a living legend.
You know, and to me, he's more of a smart surfer, and he's very smooth. He's one of the more stylish guys you'll see in the water today. You can see right there. You know, he's not one of those kind of surfers like Sonny Garcia where you're going to almost want to grunt during his turns because he's displacing so much water. Miles is more calculated. I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe sniff out a barrel out here today. The guy in white just got a 7.5. You're in third. You need a score. And if you didn't have that information, you'd be totally in the dark. You wouldn't know what's going on. For all you knew, you could be winning the heat. So it really does just shed the light on the situation, and it tells you where you're at.
Well, having a look, it is Goni Zubizarreta barely scraping into this wave and gets on the open face and does not cooperate with him. You know, I think so far what we've seen, the growers have been the waves that have been kind of giving you the score. And I mean by that is, all right, with 13 minutes to go. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Mason Ho goes for the chop hop. Can't hang on.
Again, having fun, Chris.
Yeah, he probably was kind of maybe hopefully celebrating something cool that he did. Well, right behind him, Goni Zubizarreta. He's got a grower. Nice. Speed snap, going vertical in a big wave.
Impressive.
Carves it under the lip, and that is grace under fire right there.
That was impressive, wasn't it? You know, that 7-point ride he had earlier too, he has some power there. So
looking at 6 to 8 foot wild and woolly sunset for heat 6 here in round 1. Goni Zubizarreta. 2 solid scores to jump in the lead. Second place right now belonging to Mason Ho with a 5.67 and a 5.
And then that hack, that car to finish that wave off was really nice surfing. Regardless, I don't think he'll be too chafed. He's got you know, a total of over 17 points. Here's that replay that we just caught a glimpse of out of the corner of our camera of Mason Ho. Always oozing with style. Wow, how's that bottom turn, Chris? That was
cool.
Really fun to watch.
That was really cool.
Sunset Beach is one of those places where you can really get into the bottom turn, huh? You know, it's you know, it is more than just a functional maneuver. It's like part of the deal here, where it's going to get you places because these sections literally stretch for 20, 30 yards at a time.
Getting a gem.
And there you go, trying to help out his brother. That's Mikey Wright. He's in the next heat in the white jersey, and of course his brother Owen.
Wow, Mason Ho. Right there, just as we talk about finding the gem without priority, he finds it. Nice barrel ride on the outside. Now he gets to this inside section. He's bouncing around in the frothy zone. And we'll see if he does something cool for us on the inside. And you know he will, as he's still going on this wave. All the way to the inside. One more snap. Got a little cool section to work with this wave, just bending at him. Trying to make the decision if she should make it all the way in. Will he have an air on the inside? He does. Mason Ho throws a very rare frontside air all the way inside at the Val's Reef section. And
Cool.
there's Dad. You know, he's saying, you know, you like that wave, and you know, one thing, you can help him, you can give him all the advice in the world, but you will not be able to control Mason Ho once he gets on a wave.
Check it out. He is paddling back out too. I mean, there is some time on the clock, but it's going to take him all of that 3 minutes as he tucks in. I love that. You can see, you know, that is an apple that doesn't fall far from the tree. Just tucking in. Watch that right arm as he's wiping off speed. And that is right off the takeoff. So a lot of these waves at Sunset Beach, you don't anticipate that because it's kind of almondy at best, you know, when it's this size. So for him to sniff out that barrel and find it right away, very crafty from Mason. And then he milks this thing all the way through Val's Reef. So, you know, he's going to get every ounce of points out of this wave. Totally maxing out the potential with a couple of little snaps. Watch these little wedges that come right at him. Just a little sharp 12 o'clock snap, and then a little layback snap. And then he goes for the air. It looks like he might have went for a rotation, but he's going to have a lot of... Wow, that was a lot of surfboard to try and
a lot of board
plant.
So that's basically where Mason Ho learned to surf, right? That Val's Reef inside section.
Last chance.
This could get interesting. Miles Padaka, your surfer in blue, having a solid look at this nice Sunset Peak. He's up, but utilizing priority. It's Kiran Jabor. So Kiran now will take over from Miles Padaka. As with first priority, you're allowed to take any wave you want, even if the surfer is already up and riding. And the wave was not 9.5, but he had to go. I mean, even if he just did a favor for Mason Ho and Goni Zubizarreta. So unofficially right now, from Spain, Goni Zubizarreta will advance through with Sunset Beach's Mason Ho.